Hey YouTube, Raj here. Hope you guys are doing well. Tonight I'm going to be doing a list video. I'm going to be sharing with you guys my current favorite fragrances in my collection. This video, or this idea, has basically come about after several months of me wearing these fragrances the most and me enjoying these fragrances the most. Some of these are fairly new, some of these are old, which I've rediscovered. But at the moment, and this list, it can change, and there are some fragrances which are not in this list, which are also my favorites. But these are the ones that I've been loving the most over the last, like 6-7 months. So let's just get straight into the list. A scent that I've been wearing a lot over spring and summer, and it's still for me the best in its genre. And this is from Xerjoff. This is 1861. I just love the authenticity of these notes, these sparkling citrus notes with a kind of floral mid and a kind of sweet ambery base, which I've noticed in high heat, especially when your body starts to warm up, tends to come through a little bit more. Kind of slightly woody, sweet, musky, ambery base. It's really beautiful, really uplifting. And for me, actually, I think it's the best in the house. It all comes down to personal preference, but this, I think Richwood, these two, if I could only own 2 bottles from Xerjoff, it would be those two. I'm still working on getting Richwood, it's just the cost. So next up is a fragrance which, when I reviewed it, this is Dior Homme Intense, by the way. And when I reviewed it, I think I gave it like a 9.5 out of 10. It's so close to perfection. It's just, I wish it performed a little bit more. I love everything about it, everything about this fragrance. The chocolatiness in here, this kind of powdery iris note, the woods aspect of this, the thickness of the fragrance, the sophistication, of this fragrance. When I get through this, I'm definitely going to get the 100 ml or whatever the biggest size is. Fantastic. So far, the best fragrance I've tried from Dior. Next up, another fragrance which I really love, but lacks a little bit in performance, not too much. This is from Frappin, and this one is 1270. For me, the best gourmand fragrance. It really is. Versatile in terms of seasons, actually. It kind of performs fairly well in warm weather. And if you want some extra longevity with this, just spray it on clothes. I'm not a huge fan of reapplying, so I tend to spray on clothes and get it over and done with in the morning or the first time when you spray this. And everything about this fragrance, again, I love, apart from maybe the performance. The sweet chocolate, the vanilla in here, the fruity, kind of alcoholic fruitiness in this. Everybody who has smelt this on me, and I've passed on a sample, I think, to a friend of mine, and he liked it too. I don't know what there is to dislike with this fragrance. If you don't like gourmand fragrances, then maybe this won't be for you. If you don't know, gourmand basically means, I think in French it means food-like, or kind of sweet. Like food, smells kind of a little bit like food, but it's not, you're not literally going to smell like a dessert. It's not a literal sense. Again, I'm sensing a theme here. Best from Xerjoff, best from Dior, and I think best from Frappin, to be honest. Next up, from the house of Guerlain, and this is from their La et la Matière collection. And this one is Tonka Imperial. Oh, there you go, see the cap. I really don't like these caps, I need to sort it out, but this one is Tonka Imperial. Now, I know this cap is actually not designed for this bottle, but anyway, I like to keep it on. This is just Guerlain French elegance, basically. You've got these beautiful, sweet vanilla tonka notes in there. You've got a smoky benzoin in here. This is actually, I've come to realize, more than a gourmand fragrance. It's quite almost bordering on like a soft, powdery oriental style fragrance. It smells incredible on the skin, creamy, from this almost like if you had some sort of almond tonka body lotion with a bit of incense and smoke coming in there in the base. Really superb from Guerlain, really superb. I remember a while ago I went to an event where Thierry Vasseur, the guy who's like the chief guy at the moment at the House of Guerlain, and he turned up for an event at Harrods in London, and to talk about the brand, and I had a conversation with them. He smelt this fragrance on my skin, and he said he gave me a compliment. He would though, wouldn't he? But yeah, that was interesting actually, and it kind of made me more interested in the House of Guerlain and hear about its history. And I'm really enjoying sampling all the fragrances from this house. It's really worth checking out. Next, from the house of Tom Ford. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this one is the best from Tom Ford. It all comes down to personal preference, but this is my favorite, and this is Tobacco Vanille. Now, this fragrance has been reviewed to death, and if you have not watched the review on this, then what have you been doing? Because everybody talks about this fragrance. It's probably, I would say, maybe one of the more popular fragrances, maybe the most popular from Tom Ford. I don't know in terms of numbers. I think Oud Wood might be the top seller, but this is one of those fragrances which is very dense, very thick, and very sweet, but I actually like that about it. Sometimes everything that I just said is things that I don't like in fragrances, but this honey sweetness, it's more about the vanilla and the honey than the tobacco. The tobacco is kind of there, I feel, in the background, and it's like drenched in this honey vanillaness. It really is quite a linear fragrance, and you have to love the notes, I think, to love this fragrance. I love the way that it hangs on my skin, that it, the scent trail, the sillage that it leaves in the air. It's a very sophisticated fragrance. It has people around me asking questions. Most people I found have liked it. I haven't really found anybody apart from one who has disliked it, but you're always going to get questions, I've noticed, with this fragrance, especially if you spray too much. I mean, nowadays I tend to do 1 or 2 sprays, and I used to be a little bit more trigger happy in the past, but not so much nowadays. And finally, a fragrance here, you know, that is slowly creeping up to be one of my favorites. Van Cleef & Arpels Midnight in Paris. This is the Eau de Parfum version. I mean, just look at this bottle. I mean, this bottle is just incredible. If you guys have checked out my Facebook page, I took a few pictures of this, and when it was my scent of the day, and it photographs so well. This bottle is exceptional. The fragrance, I'm getting a lot of leather in this. I know there is a leather note in here, but I'm starting to notice it a lot more on my skin. You've got a kind of similar to a Guerlain. You know, if this was a Guerlain fragrance, I wouldn't be surprised. It's got this almond tonkiness, this smokiness, but the leather kind of takes it away. Yeah, it kind of takes it away from being a typical Guerlain fragrance, I would say. Really excellent fragrance, affordable as well. You know, you can get your hands on this for a great price. And guys, you know, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bottles here. These are the ones I'm loving the most. These are the ones that you know, when I talk about them, I hope you hear in my voice like the passion I have, you know, with fragrances at this level. These are the ones I love the most, and honestly, I could just live with these fragrances. You know, this could be like my collection. And it's for this reason why I've decided to, well, this is one of the reasons why I've decided to calm down with my collection. You know, I have about 15 bottles. And, you know, if this was my collection, I'd be more than happy. So, yeah, guys, let me know. What do you think about these fragrances? Do you like them? Do you dislike them? If you do dislike them, let me know. Feel free. I'm not somebody who's going to get offended. Give me a reason why you dislike them. And what are your current favorites at the moment, or, you know, of all time? And yeah, just great to share thoughts with each other. Guys, check out my Facebook page. Got my scent of the day pictures on there, just what I'm getting up to. Maybe get a little bit more insight into me as a person, a little bit. And thanks for watching, guys. Take care. See you soon. Bye.